All right, welcome back. Last time we left it off where we determined that she's dead, Jim. So let's talk to the father and pick this back up.
How could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretch is responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Arena, it will be done.
Now you sort of see the sword there that's reminiscent of the sword, that curved blade that a lot of the creatures in Morn Castle were using.
I'll find them. The foul
Okay.
will hunt them down and
So we've
rest assured.
exhausted his dialogue. And you can see, like, you know, she was blind, if you remember, and you're seeing, like, castle guards. So maybe they were the designated protectors. And, you know, they've been dead the whole time. But, again, a little bit of environmental storytelling going on. So I think there's a couple things. We're basically done with this island, but I think there's a couple of things that we can potentially mop up. Like I said, there's some kind of cave around here. I feel like we did that lake because that's where we found the invisible creature. I think we got whatever was here. There's the death bird. There's like a night watch, one of the nights that come out at night here. Those are a couple of things. But I think otherwise... Oh, you know what? I might have trouble finding where it was, but I think in the last one where I found that area that was getting struck by lightning, I think there was like a little one of those ball creatures. I was sort of spot checking the video before I put it up, and I think there was a creature there that maybe we can get a drop from. It might be tricky because I was sort of, I don't know, I was coming down the gravestones, you know, punching out of the side of the cliff, and I thought as I was turning around to look when I was checking the video, I saw something like one of those balls down below, and I missed it while I was playing. But you know, those are the flowers again that let you summon co-op. So yeah, hopefully I'm sort of headed in the right direction. Thought it was around here, but maybe not. Again, I'm not going to try and bore you too much with me hunting around for stuff, but maybe it was over there. Maybe I'm just short. Now, last time I barely made this. Let me see if I can... Okay. There it is. Yeah. Okay, so I wasn't crazy. Let me see... This might be, what am I looking at? 500 souls. That's not much. This might be just a straight up suicide run. Got it. Oh, no. That's worth taking a risk. And if I lose the 500 souls here, I'm not going to care too much. Alright, not bad. I did not know what that was, but I'm glad I got it. Again, not that I ever use magic too much, but if you're... I don't know if this is just me, but I tend to be like a... If I'm going to have an open world, I want to explore every corner and get everything I can, so... Oops, not let me do the map. Now, I don't recall this. Sometimes this gives you like a little ghost that you can then follow. You'll see these... Start to see, yeah, footsteps, and then he leads you to something. So maybe there's something else I missed, or maybe we came across it on our own. Problem is, of course, he moves very slowly, so I tend to get ahead of him. Trying to guess what might be. I have a feeling he is showing me to... Yeah, he's showing me to the cave that I was saying was off on the edge. Now, the cave itself, I don't think is anything in particular. I don't even know if it gives you something worth dropping. But what I can tell you is that, if it's what I remember correctly, the boss of this cave is a bit tricky. So let's reset everything, and then we'll give this cave a shot. So I might not be able to do the boss of this cave just yet. But I can tell you these messages are worth looking at, because it's telling you, it's hinting. See what that ghost did. Right there, the ground will break out from under you. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. At some point you want to get down lower, but it does drop you, I think, in a pit of rats or something, and you got to sort of scramble a little bit. Now, at some point, like I said, you run into a blacksmith. There's an area that has not been unlocked yet that I sort of wish had been, because I would love to be able to upgrade some stuff before I tackle too much more of the game. This might be where that pit drops you. Okay, so you can see, I can't really see very well, but I'm able to target, and it helps me get an idea of what's out there. If you don't go with like a bow and arrow or some kind of like kiting ranged weapon, the kukri are really, I think they're pretty good. Throwing knives are all pretty useful. Are we already at the boss? We are. Now that's like a giant rune bear or something. I'm not sure why it's not letting me do my thing. Okay, here we go. These things are hard. They're fast, they hit hard, they might do bleed. If I had fire, that would be helpful. I might have fire grease now, but... Oh. This is the death of me here. And obviously when your screen is filled with the rune bearer's undercarriage, it's a little tough to get your bearings, see what's going on. This could be going a lot worse. I'm not gonna... I might have just jinxed it, but... Alright. That could have gone much worse. That's not bad. Another talisman. I'm always up for getting those. Again, you know, the benefits of having Lutel the Headless. You know, I think it's a she from what I've read, but yeah, you know, even at her most basic level, she can take a beating and really help you out. You know, really sort of aggro whatever it is you're dealing with, its attention. Yeah, you know, going back to the woman and her father, you know, the father, you know, obviously is going to seek revenge, etc., etc. There's a reason why I think it's VatiVidya can make a bunch of videos that get 800 million views all about, like, prepare to cry. Because a lot of the NPC quests in basically all of the Souls games just... They don't have a... Oop. They don't have happy endings. They're often, you know, tragic stories, tragic figures. And they're sort of, you know, some of them can be, you know, really well done. Like, I'm bad with names, but, you know, everyone who's played Dark Souls, you know, knows the Onion Knight and his story, with him and his daughter. And, you know, it's not... They're genuinely sad stories if you can figure out how to get them to, you know, play out. Because these games, again, they don't hold your hand with anything. So maybe we can give the knight a chance here. Again, I expect it to go poorly. I won't waste too much time on it, but... there he is. Let me see if I can spend some money before. See if there's anything worth buying here. I don't think I have enough souls to level, but... I do need arrows. I know that. I don't think I need 180, but... Let's get... I'm going to use them eventually, so why not? I'm just looking to... Oh, wait. That medallion could be good. 1,500. Smithing stones could be good, too. Okay, so yeah, there's a couple things here that'd be nice to get, especially that medallion. But right now, can't really worry about it. So these knights, I find a little easier to tackle on horseback, at least initially. And then you're going to see, I haven't done too much like actual horseback combat. But again, you hit the, at least on the Xbox controller, you can hit the B button to do like a quick sidestep. And so usually I just sort of hit and fade. Now you can knock these guys off their horse. They are susceptible to bleed damage. You know, there's different things. And when you knock them off your horse, if you can, sort of like gives you an opportunity to do a critical. And you want to, whoops, not walk into a swinging flail. Now I gotta say, the first game I played real mounted combat in was Lord of the Rings Online, I think. When they introduced their one of their expansions. Now he's about to go down because you can see the horse's HP bar. So if I can get him. But you gotta get quick. And see, then you can obviously really light him up. It doesn't have to become a duel, because I think he can summon his horse again. But yeah, when Lord of the Rings Online did its Rohan expansion, they introduced mounted combat. And I'm not going to lie, I mean, it's an MMO. MMOs aren't for everybody. I love Lord of the Rings Online. That might be one of the games I've spent the most time playing. Just about every video game. I was lucky enough to get like a lifetime subscription offer early on in the game's life. And the Rohan horseback combat, mounted combat, sucked so much. I really disliked it. I found it clunky. It was a mess. It was just, I'm getting back here just to get away from the trees, 'cause, I hated it. But, and so, okay, so the point is that when this announced horseback combat, I was really skeptical. And I'm glad to have been proven wrong. Now, I'm not going to lie. It absolutely takes getting used to a little bit. And I know I've mentioned in the past, there's certain enemies that absolutely cannot be fought on horseback. Cannot be fought without horseback. But once you get used to it, it works pretty well, you know, as an extension of the basic mechanics. Now, I will say, I've mentioned in the past, like, I only line up to attack from the right. Just so, like, just to make it simpler, I'm only worrying about one button. Is he down? He's down. Nice. You might get a decent chunk of souls, and you get his... Oh, I forgot about the Ash of War. You do get his flail, which is a pretty good heavy-duty bleed weapon, I believe. Now, again, the other thing we haven't done is the Deathbird, which I can give a shot once I spend some souls here. I don't know, again, if I'll be able to do it.
Unfinished yet.
But definitely let's pick up that medallion just to have it. Let's pick up... Again, these pots can be useful. These stones can be useful. Bastard sword would be great just for old time's sake. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that. Just to have it. And then maybe I'll rest at the bonfire here and let's give that Deathbird a shot. Because I don't know if there's all that much left to do. Like I said, I thought there was a... Now, I think once you kill that knight, I think it's gone for good, so you don't have to worry about it popping back up. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I thought there might have been a shield somewhere on a pillar off a cliff. I'm just not 100% sure. But obviously, you know, if you're trying to 100% stuff, you can go and... Okay, it is nighttime still. I don't know what it's like fighting Deathbird on a horseback. Probably poor, given how that's going. I'm hoping he can clear out some of the... Nope. Okay. Let's give this another shot. I'm so fixated on the ads. Let's try one more time. And again, this might, you know, these... Let me just... I don't know what time it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest, and then you can pass time. You always want nightfall, just to make sure these things come out. Deathbirds, I don't believe, at least this one, doesn't come out during the day. So now that we know it's night, let's get back over there and give it another shot. And now this is good to know because I can focus on the Deathbird and hope its attacks clear out any ads. So, you know, I'm sort of paying attention to two things at once, but it might simplify it a little bit. Or it'll go horribly wrong again, and that's okay. I don't know where the bird comes from. Often you can see them... Oh, there we go. Did he kill most of them? Not quite. There you go. Okay. I think there's some advantage to hitting it in its head. I know you can sort of stun these things and get a critical on it or break their stand, whatever you want to call it. Really not. I wonder if there's other... Okay, I was going to say, locking on its head is turning me around a little bit. I think fire, I think I might have mentioned fire is really good against these things. Nope. Okay, that might be it. Alright. So since I'm not... I mean, I could sit here and beat my head against this thing for a while, but given how I didn't get too close on its health bar, I'm going to sort of move on and see what's next. And as far as I know what's next, I'm going to just double check here to make sure I didn't miss any collectibles. And then I might move back to the main continent. I don't know if other people are like this. I always see something like that and I start to wonder, like, okay, even if there's nothing up there, can I get there? And again, it's what I love about open world games, but it's also what makes some of these games take hundreds of hours. You know, I talk about, you know, Elder Scrolls, Skyrim, stuff like that. I actually haven't beaten... I haven't beaten Skyrim yet. Crap, I thought I was going to get it. Is it humiliating? Yes. Let me see if I can sneak up on it. Again, these things often have interesting, sort of pretty rare drops. That's why I'm sort of wasting the time to try this. That was frustrating. I wonder... Okay, cool. Poison mist spell, that's worth it. But where was I going? Now, when I played this solo, I did not use my beacons enough, but here I'm going to do that just to save some time. Now, remember, there's one of the crabs here, but I'm mostly just looking for collectibles. I don't really care about defeating the crab, and I thought I got everything I needed to get. Oh, that's interesting. Again, usually the... Oh wait, they're protecting that chair, so maybe I did take a look. I'm going to take a look down there one last time in a moment. Because I feel like I've gotten what I need to get from here. And again, it's not like you need anything in particular. It's just I tend to be a completionist and I get like, oh no, wait, maybe I need to go back. I sort of get that in my head. I have trouble moving on until... What I'm going to do is, I know the jellyfish were sort of marking that throne, but I want to see, just make sure there's nothing underneath the rocks. Doesn't look like it. Okay. In that case, I think for all intents and purposes, I'm going to consider the Weeping Peninsula good to go. So let's, first of all, let's clear this. And then let's see where we can go. I don't know if I did this Everjail, so let's head here. And just see what it's like. If I want to go south. I think almost every Everjail is going to have these sort of watchers. I don't know what they're actually called in game, but I definitely haven't beaten it. So let's see what this is. Maybe I... Okay, again, there's usually like a blue glowing area where they're going to pop up. Ooh. This is going to be interesting. I might not be able to do this at all. Because he's fast and his weapon there is... really good. I think I mentioned, like, you know, like, oh, that ghost over there is using one of the best bleeding weapons in the game. That's it right there. And this guy's super fast, so I can't get a drink in. Oof. Okay, so I'm actually doing a little better than I thought I would, so let me give it one more try. If this is where you can get that sword, then oh goodness. Yeah, let's give it one more try. Or maybe a couple more, but again, I won't beat my head on this. Because really, we can go just about anywhere and explore. So, again, there's no need to really feel like you're stuck on any one thing. This is going badly. Very badly. Again, I can't just take the blows because he's building up bleeding on me. Nope. Thought I'd be cute. This might be the pattern. Back up. He's going to go down. Bloodhound's Fang. Okay, that's the sword. I don't know if I'm going to have the strength, maybe. But, oh, if you can get that sword early and you're looking to do a bleed, you're in good shape. Let's just see what the stats are. Okay, strength 18. And it would make me have a heavy load, so I wouldn't be able to fast roll. So those are two things that are going to be tricky. But that's a... I forgot that was here. I didn't realize it was just this accessible. So again, I'm going to go to the map. I'm going to mark this jail as done, just so I know I don't have to come back. And let's keep going. Go to this church. Got 1900 souls, so let's see if there's anything I needed to buy here.
Always a pleasure.
Don't need that. The pots again could be useful, but large other shield. Nah, I'm good with a shield. Got the cookbooks. Okay, so I think
Goodbye.
we're done here. So let's do another sort of set piece now that we're back on the main continent where Stormvale Castle is. Now there's a little sequence here that you can do. Let's see if I can actually not die. Okay, it wasn't. Nope. Okay. I didn't know if it was going to give me the... Oh, that guy. Not yet. So we're going to go into this swamp. Let's see if I can do it from here. And there's a set of ruins here again that you can tackle, explore. I'm sure there's a thing underneath it. There's also this bonfire, and let me show you what happens when you're over here. You can sort of see it coming in. So now I believe that if you trigger him and then if you die to him, I'm going to die to him intentionally because I think there's something that happens if you do. I might be getting the order wrong. Okay. So now that I've died to him, let me see if I did the order to this right. I guess the Stake America. Basically what I'm trying to do is I think there's an NPC summon for that fight that you can... And you want to head this way. So I'm going to place a beacon here. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to run into this guy first. He warned you of the dragon. You go fight the dragon and die. Then talk to him and he's like, you tried to fight the dragon, huh? That was stupid. And then it comes back to... There you go. Always look up. Or if you can just activate the dragon, die, and then talk to him. I don't know what the exact order is, so I might have screwed this up. Again, I don't actually care about fighting him. So what's going to happen is there's going to be an invasion up here. And then if you can last long enough, a summon comes in to help you. But I will say it's a tricky fight. So you just have to hang in there long enough. Oops, I forgot about that. Okay, here we go. Of course, that's exactly when I die. Where does he come from? There he is. Let me try that again. Oh crap, I'm way over here. I was hoping... kind of hoping there was a Stake of Marika for that as well. Now, truth be told, there's a decent chance I could just go fight that dragon as well. I've never done it with the NPC summon, so I was kind of curious if I had the order right. Whenever you're out in the world, if it kicks you off your horse like that, start looking for an invasion. I don't know of too many other reasons why it happens. I guess I could sort of take the fight a little over here so that we're closer to the helpful summon when he comes in. Start with a bang. Nope, I gotta dodge aside. Ooh, clever girl. Get a little bit of that going. Got some bleed going on him. Now his sword... Yeah, you're all out, aren't you? His sword looks like mine, but I can't tell if it's got like a longer reach. Now here's the trick is I don't know how to... because I think you have to talk to him. I don't know if I'll mess with this too... Well, let me go take a quick look, just see if it jogs my memory. My intention wasn't to necessarily explore this cave, I just wanted to unlock that. Oh, I know what this is. Just have to remember how to get there. Okay, so I got to refill because I used
Well, well, well. Thought you'd just help yourself to a man's personal belongings, huh? You scheming little thief. The gods demand
Patches.
Cough up your coin.
There's some version of Patches in, I think, just about every game. He's always sort of like this, this guy who's He's not a good guy.
Please. I surrender.
He's usually cowardly. He's usually...
Well, finally come round, have you? I knew you would. You're a man of reason.
So he always sort of double crosses you somehow. He always sort of screws you over somehow. He often also becomes a merchant in some cases, and he also is sort of a fan favorite.
You're tarnished like me. Now, how did I get that wrong?
In Bloodborne, he's like a spider, so it's never like literally the same patches as far as I can tell.
I assure you. Well, water under the bridge. Now we're squared up. How about we play nice from now on? A true man of reason. Just what I like about you. I'm Patches. Patches the untethered. Tarnished like you, only free-spirited. Nomadic, you might say. Only for now, those retired soldiers turned bandits. And they're paying for my gruel. In exchange for my, well, showing them the ropes. But honestly, this looting racket is bloody terrifying. Frankly, I'm ready to wash my hands clean. Maybe set up a legitimate shop. So don't be a stranger. I'll be ready to wheel and deal come next time. Don't forget to pop back for another visit, friend. I'll be ready to wheel and...
Okay, so he hasn't screwed us over quite yet, but I think that can still happen. Thought it could still happen.
Don't forget to pop... I'll be ready to wheel...
Okay, so the nice thing is we've got this bonfire lit so we can fast travel back to Patches when the time comes. Now I gotta figure out how to talk to that NPC. Because I'm really curious. If I can't, if I've screwed it up somehow, I'll just go fight that dragon. But
Just joining the file. You fought Nereus and survived. That alone deserves commendation. I'm Yura, hunter of bloody fingers, tarnished, held in thrall by cessblood. Zealots, who stalk their own. You stay the path. You're certain to face more of them. Just remember, no kinship with their ilk remains. Their madness precludes it. Don't let your emotions stay your blade.
now, is that helmet kind of dumb looking? Yeah. Do I love the sort of art design of these games? Absolutely.
Stay clear of Agil Lake. The great dragon roosts there.
Okay, so now maybe I have to go die to it?
As it is majestic. So, unless you're mad, or wish to be burned alive.
But yeah, I've always loved the design of these games. That's what actually drew me initially into Demon Souls.
Be on your way.
It was just,
Perhaps we will meet again.
I think we've exhausted. I'm going to go die to the dragon again. It was just, I loved the opening castle. I just thought it was so, I don't know what's over here. Again, getting completely sidetracked by the open world. Yeah, I thought there was something here. Now what I'm hoping is that there's a bonfire right inside here so that at least we can fast travel back. I don't think you can fast travel inside. No, you got to get back out to the world. All right. Now I'm looking to get to Nope. I actually think I might be off the map. Yeah, I've started into the next area. Here's an interesting thing that's sort of a fun puzzle in this game. You can, if you can find where that perspective is, where that was painted, and I'm really terrible at this, you can sort of see like there's, looks like people on horseback there. If you can find that exact spot, there's often something to be gained. And it's kind of, again, it's a cool little exploration puzzle that, I'm not going to lie, I probably had to look half of them up. So yeah, so somewhere, again, if you follow these roads, you're going to find a map fragment. But right now, I'm going to go towards the beacon I set up and get back to dealing with this dragon. But you start to get to, at least for me, you start to realize this map is, I'm always, one of the things I really enjoy about open worlds is I respect how much effort it must take to create it, populate it, keep it interesting. Man, yeah, I love open worlds. Unfortunately, human lifespans aren't 2,000 years, so I could have time to get to all the ones I want to try. Okay, so let me go get wrecked by the dragon again, go back to him and see if he gives me a I told you so, or maybe we'll see his summoning on the ground somewhere. If it's anything like the bonfire from a couple fights ago, I'll probably go right by it 3 times without realizing it. But, almost got me. There we go. So again, I don't know if this is actually interesting to some people, but that's the, like, there's plenty of places out there that are going to, like, show you where every item is that you can, like, get walkthroughs for. But this is just sort of, the types of things you can just discover through play. And it's just, in some ways it's stuff that I don't know how you'd ever uncover on your own. Like this kind of thing I might have read about at one point. I tend to, when I play these games after the fact, when I'm like, okay, I'm completely done with everything I can think of for Weeping Peninsula. Let me go look it up. And then you realize you missed half of it. And I genuinely love that about this game. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so these are sort of telling me he's moved on. And I don't know where. He's probably pointing me down to that. So if he's moved on, I have to confess, I might not know how to get him to come back. Now, they do have like these things here where they tell you where people are. So I don't know if that was always there for certain ones. Like NPCs would move on and then you were just sort of on your own. I was hoping to see him somewhere on the map, but I don't see it, so we might be on our own as far as this dragon fight's concerned. Where are we? Down there? All right. But again, you know, to get the most out of these games, don't be afraid to Google it. If that's, you know, a line of you want to pursue, go ahead and Google the events. At least I can point out that the events are possible. Now, is that a ball? I'm going to go for it. Okay. Not that I necessarily need the Ash of War, but again, as a compulsive collector. Okay, so I think we can get some help on this, so let's bring in the Headless. Let's get this back. And let's see what happens with this dragon. Now, the trick with the dragon is you take some shots at its legs. You can watch its tail. Hitting it in the head, if you can pull it off, really, you can sort of stun him. When he breathes fire, you can just sort of go to the side. Oh, he's going after my AI, so that helps too. But you can go to the side and it sort of... That's the thing you need for the horseback, because you can't run fast enough. You can't really avoid any of its attacks fast enough on foot. I'm not hitting anything here. Let my stamina build up again. Okay, I'm not helping my guy out very much. Oops. If you hop off the horse and attack, you can sometimes get a headshot in, but I'm not very good at that. Maybe that's not true. I thought that was a possibility, though. Ooh, that was close. Where is he? Okay, looks like my Headless is down. So I might be on my own for the last little bit. Get some stamina back. Now, if I were smart, I'd be running towards him to the side. There we go. dragon hearts. Those are... And then it mentions the Cathedral of the Dragon Communion. I guess I should go pick up my... So yeah, dragons, you want to stay on horseback. You don't want to mess around with that. I can tell you the communion, the thing, that's over here. But to get to it is actually a cave here that goes under the water. So it's sort of two parts to it. In fact, let's place a beacon and head over there. I don't think it's too tough to get through the tunnel. And I think there's a couple of Dragon Communion things around the world. I don't think there's just the one. You know what? I'm not 100% sure. Oh, interesting. So I'm not 100% sure how to get back up, but I think it's here. And again, it's one of those games where, like, yeah, you could fast travel everywhere, but I've always taken some pleasure in traversing it. You sort of, you know, learn the lay of the land a little bit. In Skyrim, I did the same thing. I always sort of made it a point to... I mean, you have to go first, I think, by foot a lot of times, but there were times where I would just sort of... travel anyway by land just to... Because you never know what you're going to miss in games like this. Okay, so that's the island. So let's see if we can find the tunnel now. Imagine there's probably some things to grab over there, but... Oh, if you remember, this is the guy that was stuck in the tree.
What are you doing here? You must leave this place at once. They'll rush in and beat you to a pulp. You'll end up just like me. Oh.
Again. Okay, so we've exhausted it all. Let's rest. See if he says anything different after. No. Okay. I'll activate this even though we're not going to use any help. Maybe these guys would have been tougher earlier in the game, had we not. But again, this is the advantage of doing the Weeping Peninsula first. Somebody's here waiting to be summoned. Let's do it. I have no idea what's over there. It's always nice to have You don't want to do these fights 2-on-1. Quote Karate Kid, no mercy. All right. I did forget about that boss fight, so maybe... But I could have summoned my ashes, it would have been fine. Now, I could go back to the beginning, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep going. Looks like it gave me tailoring tools. I think that's something you need to give to the Bach guy. So maybe on the way back, or we'll fast travel or whatever. See if he's still there. So again, now you can see we're on this island. Maybe we want to go this way, actually. And I know it's a dumb cliche when you have an open world game and somebody says, oh, you know, you look at that thing on the horizon, you can go to there, but I mean, obviously it's true in this case, and yeah, I don't know if to other people it's just like, oh, more of the same, but to me it sort of really triggers my desire to go explore and see what's up. Now, you definitely want to touch Grace here. I don't know how many... 2,900, that's not bad. I think there's somebody in here you gotta deal with. But yeah, you take hearts, and I don't have the stats for it, but you can trade them in for different sort of spells. And, you know, you can get like, I guess you eat the heart? Fantastic. Well, like communion, I guess that does make sense. And, you know, like, as you get dragon, you know, there's spells that cost like 5, you know, stuff like that. So you can sort of accumulate dragon hearts around the world. And let me see if I can fast travel quickly here. See if Bach's still there. Give him the sewing kit we picked up. Because that's his thing. That's part of how his quest goes on.
My sewing needle. What made you go and do a thing like that? My mum was a seamstress.
I think Bach is one of the few feel-good NPC quests if you can get it to go.
I always wanted to be just like sweet old mum. Suppose I can't just curl up and die, can I? Thank you. You're very kind. I always wanted to be a seamstress like my mum. Then I suppose...
Just gonna exhaust it just to make sure, okay.
I always want...
Alright. So we did that. Now again, I don't think we can fast travel underground, so let's get up. So I'm going to do a couple things. First, I'm going to just double check, see what's over here in case there's anything to pick up. And then I'm going to go back, and there's an archway under there, and I think there's a merchant under that arch. I guess you can summon help to take out these land octopi. Okay, so remember I was talking about those invisible things. Here's where you can see one on the move. And so the trick is you have to figure out its pattern. And sometimes people put like messages like here. And now this thing's going to come right at me. The trick is to swing a little earlier than you think. Okay, so I missed it. But now you can see where I got to stand. And then there's not much you can do besides wait for it to come around again. And again, my problem is I have to swing earlier than I realized. Missed it again. Let me remove beacon. I didn't realize you could put 2 beacons up, so that's interesting. This is tragic. Apologies. If you had like, I mentioned like the Hoarfrost Stomp, I think you could sort of send that area of effect attack out in front of you, and okay, so I'm not going to make you suffer this too much more. But just know that this is here. Maybe I'll spend an hour mistiming it. So here's a marker they're saying here, I bet. It's letting you know that this spot is good for taking a swing at them. So I usually look for some kind of message like that. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a marker here so I know to come back. I don't know where my other beacon is. But yeah, you don't need to witness this. This is embarrassing. Okay, like I said, if I could beat this game, anybody can. But let's go check under that arch. Because I believe there is a merchant there. Got that troll going up there to the left, up high. If nothing else, at least you're made aware of where to go and then do it better than I do. I think this is also, is Bach here too, or is it just the merchant? Now, technically speaking, you can kill these merchants.
What do you need?
And then they drop like this ball bearing thing that you can then bring and to a specific vendor, which we haven't unlocked yet. And then if you do that, that vendor sort of sells whatever the person sold. Okay, I think we're good.
All done? Well, be on your way then.
I thought Bach could be under here too at one point, but that might be... Let me clear this beacon. Hopefully we still have beacon over here. But with that, it's interesting. There's a thing there that can get you up to that. Then from there you can get all the way up. I don't think there's anything else over here. I wonder if there's anything else you could get to. Could you get up on that building? Is there any reason to? I don't even know where I am. Oh, starting church. All right. Interesting question is, can you get back down? Looks like it's giving me the effect. All right, and with that, let's call it on this one. Maybe I'll go see if I can hit that invisible thing in some downtime so you don't have to watch. But yeah, we'll call this another one, and I'll jump back in soon. All right, take it easy.